So our next attraction offer is free giveaways. So I'm going to go over how I learned it, description, examples, important points, and summary. So let's dive in. So how I learned this. So I was talking to a business owner, and he was telling me about this crazy play that he had that was working really really well. And I was like, okay, well, how does it work? He said, so basically, I give away a scholarship from my year long flagship thing. If people kind of opt in and they have to, answer a couple questions about their business, why I should pick them, et cetera. He said, so then I do, a countdown and then I do a drawing, and I do a live webinar where release it live, sell people on how great it is. And so after he told me, he's like, okay, so I picked the person, and I was like, yeah, but okay, so you just give something away for free. Like, how does that actually, make you any money in the business? And he said, well, the key is the participation trophy, or said differently, the partial scholarship. And so he's like, so what I do is I reach out to all the people who opted in and filled out all these questions about why they should be eligible, their pain points, their aspirations, their dreams, why they should be qualified, why this is important to them. He's like, and then I just do a second countdown for people who have partial scholarships for them to basically redeem those. And that partial scholarship is a discount off of the value that I advertise and for my grand prize, right, of the full scholarship. And so that structure, I was like, oh, and he said, and here's the great part. I use the same structure that I give to the online fitness trainers so that they do the same thing when they get customers. So they just say, hey, I'm doing a 1-year transformation or whatever it is. And then they have a bunch of people opt in for it, and they do partial scholarships for everybody else. And so this clearly became this repeatable framework of grand prize, participation trophy, or grand prize, promotional offer. So you promote the main thing, and then you give some sort of discount off the main thing for people who ask for or are qualified for that main offer. And so this gives you an amazing way to generate tons of leads. It gives you a very cool way to ethically sell how amazing something is. Like if I get up on stage and say, hey, I've got this amazing thing, I talk about how great it is, that's one thing. Now, if everybody in the audience knows that they're waiting for me to pick one of them to win this thing, they're way more engaged, they're way more leaning in because they're imagining them actually winning it. So you have kind of a different level of receptivity, which is what I think makes this so powerful. And you also get a ton of goodwill because you're like giving stuff away, right? So it's an awesome, awesome play. Now, to be clear though, this is something that is so powerful that it is legally regulated. All right, because if you do one of these and you charge for it, it's called an illegal lottery. All right, and so like these things work well enough that the laws had to get made to show how not to do them the wrong way. Okay, so how does this work overall? So I'll just read this to you. So giveaway offers advertise a chance to win a big prize in exchange for content information, whatever else you want. And then after picking a winner, you offer everyone else a big prize at a discount. Giveaways also go by names like sweepstakes. He had scholarship. Like all of these are different terms. They all mean enter for a chance to win. All right, and so giveaway offers to run them. One, you just have to pick a grand prize and a promotional offer, right? So think your main thing and then your participation trophy, whatever. Ask for contact information. Now, the promotional offer doesn't actually have to be different than the grand prize. It can usually be a discount on the main prize, to be clear, or just a truncated version or decreased time. It can be whatever spin you want, but typically it's going to be some reason for it to be a little bit less than the grand prize, and then a reason for them to buy now. Right. We ask for information and eligibility criteria. Like you don't want veterinarians opting in for a, you know, a retailer's conference in Nebraska. If you've got people who are whatever veterinarians in Georgia, like it doesn't make sense, right? So you want to make sure that they're eligible for your core services. Otherwise, why would you want to give something away to somebody who could never buy your thing anyways, right? So you can still create eligibility criteria in order to get the giveaway, including questions or actions or anything you want them to add somebody to a group or post something. Like you can put as many criteria as you want or actions for them to take in order for them to be qualified. So then you put the giveaway on a deadline. This is super important because if you don't have a deadline, then all marketing, right? You want to have some sort of urgency that drives people to take action. And then also, and this is important, when you have the giveaway and you try to contact everyone else for the participation prizes, you want to make sure that those participation prizes and them claiming those prizes are also on deadlines. Because otherwise you'll just say like, hey, you won, and then no one will do anything, right? And so you have to have urgency at each step to drive action, which is just normal marketing stuff, but sometimes you forget. All right. Now, beyond that, you want to announce the grand prize winner, obviously, and you also want to give them the prize. Obviously, duh. Sometimes I have to say this, like, if you're going to advertise a grand prize, you have to give the grand prize away. And then you contact everybody else and tell them about the promotional offer that they are eligible for, which is like, congratulations. We thought your information was so compelling. We want to offer you a partial scholarship. We thought your information was so compelling. We thought we would offer you this promotional offer. That's the grand prize thing that you said you wanted. It's like that, but better, or like that, but shorter, or like that, but cheaper, whatever, right? You say, you told us all this stuff. We think you're a good fit. And as a result, we want to give you this offer. Make your grand prize the thing you want everyone to buy. All right, so make sure you assign a monetary value to your grand prize to serve as a price anchor for your promotional offer. So for instance, if you sell a $5,000 worth of value thing for $2,000, then advertise the $5,000 value, right? Let's say that's the giveaway. Next, you pick your promotional offer, all right? So this is a discount on the grand prize, a truncated version, some very small difference that allows you to charge even less for your grand prize to people who kind of win the participation trophy. All right. And the bigger the discount, the more compelling the offer, obviously. And so hint, the bigger the value you make this thing, the better, right? So remember, leads enter the giveaway because they found the grand prize interesting. This is why this is such a key point, is that like everybody already says they want this thing. So you don't have to really like sell them on wanting it. They already want it. We just need to make an offer good enough for them to say yes, right? And so the promotional offer gets you customers because you offer what they already showed interest in at a discount. And the discount in the story I gave was the partial scholarship. All right. And so you can call your promotional offer whatever you want: for your business scholarship, gift card, voucher, dollars off, store credit, whatever. Right. The point is that you have a main thing and you got a gift card that somebody can win that can apply towards it. Bingo, bango. So what else does someone need in order to qualify or opt in? You obviously need their contact information. Otherwise, you can't contact them. You want them to be eligible, because if they're not eligible, they're not gonna be able to buy anyways, or they're not a good fit. And then I prefer to also, so this is kind of like, how do I talk to you? Who are you? And then what actions have you taken that make you more likely to be either a great customer or more likely to bring more other customers, which is gonna be a promotional activity. All right, and so other stuff interests you to qualify. I add these to promote my giveaway more. So it might be like, you have to bring a friend to my giveaway in order to qualify to win. That could be a qualification. It could be you have to join my group. It could be you have to share this post. It could be you have to leave a review. Like there's 100 things you could have people do. You could have them do them all, right? Now, the more friction you add, the fewer people are going to want to enter the giveaway. So it's a little bit of a balance between those two things. But I'll say this in general for me: if you have a compelling enough grand prize, people will take a minute to follow some of those steps to become more qualified leads for you. So yeah, other examples could be, attending a call or event, making a post, entering a group, right? And the key here is that we want them to either promote our stuff more or demonstrate higher quality of interest, which said differently is we want them to consume more of our information so that they're more likely to make a purchasing decision when presented our promotional offer if they don't win the main prize. Once we have all this in place, we put the giveaway on a deadline to give away the free thing. So you make a lot of razzle dazzle. Hey, 5, 4, 6, 3, 2, 1. There's how many days left. It's gonna be exciting. Everyone hop on, right? We make it urgent by making it only available for a limited time. 3 to 7 days, I think, works best. I think people's attention spans are relatively limited. So I think, a weekish works well. As soon as leads enter the giveaway, you want to update them daily. So first, you let them know how long they have until you announce the winner. You can do this email, direct message, text, social media posts, and so on. If you already have a community, you can do it there publicly, and then also one-on-one at scale, like via broadcasts. And do as many as reasonable. Once a day across all platforms tends to work pretty okay. Second, because again, you can do it, you can get away with once a day if it's a shorter thing. If you're going to go longer, I probably wouldn't do every day. If you're at a 30-day giveaway, which you can do, there's situations where that works. Like, if you're at 27 days out, you're like, I get it. You might opt out of the giveaway by the end of it. So you might do I would follow the Whisper Tease Shout framework that I have in the leads book, in terms of it's kind of like a reverse launch, but you're kind of launching a giveaway, right? Now, second, you provide value along with your countdown. So this is a point that I think a lot of people miss, is you don't want to just say the countdown. You also want to be like, let me sell you on how this thing's amazing and how it's going to change your life, which people are going to be excited about. Like, let's say you give away a vacation for whatever reason. Now, we wouldn't give away vacation unless you're in the vacation business. I'd prefer you give away, if you're going to use this play, the main thing you sell, but I'll just use vacation as a simple example. If I gave away vacation because I'm a travel agent, right? That vacation then What else am I going to talk about? I want to talk about the drinks they're going to have. I want to talk about the restaurants there. I want to talk about the weather there. I want to talk about the beach. I want to talk about the views. I want to talk about their hotel room. I want to talk about all these things, and I can use each day of my countdown to provide value describing the grand prize. And so it doesn't seem like a take when I'm reminding them of this thing that they want to win, and I'm talking about how great it is, right? That's the key that I think people miss, rather than just like, it's coming, like that gets tiring, right? So just provide value along the way. Beyond that, show everyone the benefits, right? We just said that. And you want to refer everyone to social proof. So this is both the benefits and proof that it's good. So if you do have that vacation that I'm saying, if you've sent other people on this grand prize vacation before, then it's like, hey, here's John and Sally who went on the thing to Egypt and they loved it. And then the next day, here's the rooms. And then here's, Kevin and Kelly who are saying how the rooms were spectacular and how it's the best hotel room they've ever stayed in their whole life and they wish they could live there, right? Each one of these, you want to pair the benefit with proof around the benefit, ideally. Now, a little pro tip, like I said, whisper, tee, shout, you can use the exact same framework I have there for countdowns and urgency. Okay, so announcing the grand prize winner. Once you do that, so let's say you do a webinar, you do a big rah-rah, whether that's local, on a stage, you invite everyone to a thing, you do a virtual call, whatever's fine, you do it in a group. I like to bring everyone together because it's going to maximize my ability to sell and convert. All right. And so we announce it publicly, then we message everyone else privately. All right. This is the key point. Many will enter, many will win. That's the key point of what makes this work. Right. And so now, I'm not saying everybody wins the grand prize, but everyone gets a promotional offer to apply to the grand prize, which is awesome. That's their participation trophy because of the work that they did, because they were such a great participant, because they commented in the group, because they shared, because they told you a good story. You can use whatever because you want, but just give them a reason for why they're getting the voucher, the store credit, the gift card, the discount, whatever you want. Let them know, email, text, direct message. On that big webinar presentation, you can also do the same structure, which is people get on, and then afterwards you can say, hey, I saw you on there, and you can have your own team, or if it's just you, messaging them saying, hey, I think this would still be a good fit for you. I want to do a partial scholarship, so I'm going to be reaching out to some of you guys on this call and afterwards to get that set up. And then again, we have to restart our urgency because otherwise they're going to be like, yeah, I'll do it someday. For the same reason people don't buy and take action immediately, right? It's always easier to just delay things. So we want to drive the urgency. So in that message, you ask them to schedule a call to redeem the prize and make sure they redeem the promotional offer, again, at another deadline, okay? Again, 3 to 7 days tends to work well. And the second one works like the first. Show the benefits, show more social proof, more valuable stuff about the offer. So I'm going to give you a little bit of math on how to kind of walk through this. So when you're explaining the promotional offer to winners, you want to use kind of cost to value using their discount, their store credit, the partial scholarship that you're giving them, right? And so my rule of thumb is to make your promotional offer equal to 10 to 30% of your gross margins. All right. And so for example, let's say we advertise a grand prize with a $5,000 value, but a $2,000 retail price tag. All right. So the promotional offer winner gets it for $1,800. That's 10% off retail. All right. But when we let them know they won the promotional offer, we explain that they get $5,000 in value for an $1,800 price tag. All right. Very exceptional. So if I'm that travel agent, for example, I might say, if you were to book this vacation not through me, without all the discounts I can get, this would cost you $5,000 to do. Now, if somebody goes through my traditional services, I might say, okay, well, I can get this thing for $2,000, and that's what I might be able to retail it for. But my participation trophy winners will get 10, 20, 30% off. So that would be somewhere between $200 and $600 off my normal $2,000 offer. But when I'm comparing it, I always have my baked in efficiencies of what they would have to do to get this on their own if they were to just get it true retail, not through my services as a travel agent. And so $5,000 gets discounted, or they can see the discrepancy in value between $5,000 and $1,800. So now it seems like a screaming hot deal, which makes it more likely for them to take it, right? And so you can just compare the difference of a 10% discount to a 64%. Very big difference, and so we want to talk in those terms. All right, beyond that, bottom line is that, remember, everyone entered the giveaway, showed interest in your thing. If you remember nothing else, this is the most important point. We want to sell the hell out of our grand prize because we want people to be super interested. And because there's a chance to win, so many more people want to dream about it. They want to imagine what life will be like. And so a lot of the persuasive techniques, because there's a chance at winning it for free, tend to be even more effective in this setting, right? So I can't undersell this value to you. This is one of the things that makes this so powerful. Also one of the reasons it's regulated. All right. And so if anybody shows interest in your thing, you should have an offer to give to them. That's the point. All right. And so that's how it works. I'll give you a couple examples real quick. So if I were a dentist, I might do a free Perfect Smile giveaway. So grand prize might be a free set of invisible braces, $6,000 retail price. My promotional offer might be $2,000 gift card for my braces, right? Okay. If I have a physical products business, I might be doing a year of organic dog food subscription. All right. So the grand prize, your food, $1,000 retail price, and the promotional offer might be a $300 gift card for food only usable with a 1-year subscription, right? Or only usable if you prepay it up front. Like, you can put terms on these things. The next is services offer. So let's say you have the free ultimate giveaway for whatever services you have. All right. So free 1-year package, $5,000 retail price. Your promotional offer is a $2,000 voucher redeemable towards 1 year of service. Now, if you have, really crappy margins, then you're going to cut this voucher down. That's okay. I prefer to sell higher margin services. But these type of things really drive behavior. If you had a consulting offer, like a free 16-week turnaround, which could be business, it could be health, it could be relationship, it could be whatever, right? So let's say that's a $12,000 retail price. It's my mega Cadillac, super duper version. My promotional offer might be a partial, which might either be half the time or half the price or the same duration with one piece removed. No matter what, these things all combine together and make a really compelling offer. Those are some of the examples. A couple little details for you. Talk to your law people about law things. Make sure that they're legal in your area, how you do it. Eligibility criteria. Get you more customers to buy the promotional offer. So I ask questions like, just to get ammo for a sales conversation. So why should we pick you? Why this program? Why now? Why does this matter to you? Why is this important? What are your goals, right? These are all important questions you can ask in an application that then you can cipher, go through them and say, oh, these are really good people. And you can also order the leads and score them based on who you think is more likely to buy. You can also ask for income. You can ask for whatever you want. If your giveaway doesn't work, so let me just troubleshoot this for you. It means your grand prize wasn't grand enough. So I had a portfolio company do a giveaway, and it bombed. And I was like, they told me that it bombed. I was like, the giveaways always work. Like, how did this not work for you? And they told me the grand prize was free tickets to their event, which was like $300 for the tickets for the event. This is a B2B business with a like $40,000 thing. Like 15 to 40, somewhere in that range, right? And so I was like, so why do we think that $300 of value is in any way, like, if we're going to sell $40,000 stuff, we need to have $40,000 giveaways at minimum. And so they reran the campaign with equipment for that business owner type that was $50,000 of equipment. And then all of a sudden the giveaway worked, right? And so like giveaways are only grand if you have grand prizes, and they have to be super grand because people have to want them, right? Here's a little pro tip for you. You can give away 2 prizes for twice the leads. I'll give you an example on the next slide. So this is from Skool. So refer a winner and you win 2. So this is really, I think this is sexy as hell. All right, so I'll just read this to you. But many of you are inviting friends to play the games with you, and that's the point, to make business fun. To encourage this even more, we're adding a new incentive. All right, if a person you refer gets in the top 10, you get to come too. So they won prizes. And so the whole point is, if you double your grand prizes, then what you can do is, hey, I'm going to do this grand prize winner. But if you're the person who referred the grand prize winner, then you win a grand prize too. So let's say in that example with the equipment, I would say, okay, instead of $50,000 equipment, I'm going to give 2 $50,000 packages, or you can give 2 $25,000 packages, whatever, 2 big packages. And so that then gets every single person who's coming into the contest to say, wait, I can get way more chances to win. Like, every person I refer gives me another shot to win. So there's a huge incentive now to refer tons of people, and this can double, triple, quadruple the amount of leads you get in a giveaway if the giveaway is good enough. So again, these are regulated for a reason. All right. But this crushes. So highly recommend doing that. If you have the cash or the capital to double the incentive, I would do it. All marketing rules apply. So scarcity. Limit your giveaway by time, number of entries, or both. You can run the giveaways for a specific amount of time, like 7 days, a specific number of entry, like 5,000 entries, or both. I like both. Now, I want to be clear. How would you use the scarcity part? Well, I tend to limit scarcity based on how many people I have the time and resources to connect with. So if I don't have the team to be able to actually reach out to more than 200 leads, then I want to put my qualifications as high as possible, and I want to limit the amount of entries to 200. That also increases the chances of winning, which makes it even more attractive for people to enter. All right, and so if you don't even have the bandwidth to do more than 200 contacts, then cap it, right? And if you can't do it, you can't reach out to 200 leads in any more than 7 days, then it's like cap it at 7, 207, done. which leads to the next one, urgency, 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 right? So I add urgency in 3 places for giveaways. Number 1 is to enter, number 2 is to claim, number 3 is to use, or to use the thing. Because even once you have, let's say, a scholarship that you give away, or once you give someone a vacation, give them a time period to use it in, right? Because you want them to actually consume it. Because big picture, even for all, and most importantly for all the partial scholarship winners, this is important because you want them to start, you want them to become customers, you want them to buy, right? And so this basically aligns with the 3 actions we need them to take. And so we put urgency around each, all right, and make it clear in the advertisements how that works. So once you announce the winners, let them know how long they have to claim. And when they do, schedule their call someday the next week if you can. And then once you let them know what they want, tell them how long they have to use it. I like hours personally, but I've gone up to 5 days. In short, just always have deadlines. So this is another little interesting tidbit on a little more advanced thing that I've learned over the years, which is when you have the participation trophy winner calls, when you have the promotional off, basically calls for everybody who didn't win, but you still want to get to buy something, right? At the start of the call, let them know that they have 2 ways to use their partial scholarship, their voucher, their gift card, their credit, whatever. All right. And that you'll help them find which way makes the most sense for them. And then offer the discount on the grand prize thing first. If they take that, awesome. If not, then offer the same discount by percentage on any other product that you have that makes sense. So using the dentist example earlier, I might say, hey, the grand prize is the full teeth and you're going to get $2,000 off that. Now they might be like, I can't afford that. We might say, well, you know what? 80% of your pictures are going to be your top teeth, not your bottom teeth. So why don't we just do braces on your top teeth for $3,000 and I'll give you $1,000 off that, right? And so that way you can have a back pocket offer for people who still obviously want to improve their smile. They still want the main thing, but they might not be able to afford it right now or might not be right for the business right now. And the key is to just discount by the same percentage. That way they don't feel like they're losing out on their partial scholarship. Okay. So if you have a lot of no-shows for in-person appointments and that becomes an issue, instead of doing mass notifications for people who qualified, just reach out to them individually. Sometimes that happens. So it basically just needed to do more personalization. And when you get a hold of them, just let them know they have to claim the prize. So if you have a recurring revenue business, what you want to do is apply the promotional discount over the longest period of time that they'll agree to, and then set up monthly subscription to bill automatically at normal rates after the discounted period ends. Okay, so let's say that someone wins, a partial discount for whatever, $2,000, and you normally charge $6,000, or so let's, for simple math, let's say you normally charge $8,000, you give them $2,000 off, that's $6,000 for the year. So then I would just reverse that into $500 a month, which then at the end of the year would bump up to whatever $8,000 divided by 12 is, right? And that way you get the recurring revenue on a regular basis. And again, you want to spread it over as long as possible, but you want to collect as much cash as possible up front. So if someone will pay $6,000 up front, do that, obviously. But if you can't do that, then extend it over as long period of time. This is what I'm trying to help you avoid. You don't want to say, okay, I'm going to give you $2,000 for the first 4 months, and then you'll start getting billed on month 5. Do not do that. It doesn't work. It sucks. I've already got the scar tissue to show it. Don't do it. Just try and spread it over longer periods of time. All right, so those are the important points. So this is a quick recap. So at the core, free giveaways, ask an audience to apply to get a high value thing of yours for free. Many will enter, many will win, or one wins, and then the rest win discounts. You want to pick a grand prize that people want. It has to be sexy. If you do a bad grand prize, do not be cheap on your grand prize. 2, give 2 prizes away if you want more people to refer. I think a grand prize should be about the value of your high cost thing, right? Now, to be clear here, the reason this is also valuable is that if you give away something that retails, that you actually sell for, let's say, $10,000, then it's really is only going to cost you maybe $2,000-$3,000 in terms of hard costs or services to deliver that thing. And so that's a smoking hot, it's not that much money compared to how much you have to spend in marketing, right? Which is why cash giveaways are my least favorite type of thing, because I have done them, but they tend to be my least favorite because they are the least original. Now, the plus side of cash giveaways is that they are valuable to everyone, right? And so if you are in a niche, which I hope you are because you know who your avatar is, being more specific and making the grand prize around your service allows you to bake in the difference between what it costs you versus what the value of it is at a retail price. And I think that's a huge arbitrage opportunity. It also makes doubling the prizes when you give 2 away easier, because if you give 2 $10,000 prizes away that really only cost you 2 or 3 at hard costs, still works great. Okay. So then you want to offer a chance to win the grand prize to anyone who enters and qualifies. Key point, and qualifies. You don't just give it to any, like they have to qualify in order to win. And you can get great information from every lead because you make it part of the entry process. And this is why I think this is so magical. People are just willing to enter pages and paragraphs of it themselves. Whereas if you just did a normal lead gen campaign, it's hard to get 2 or 3 fields, right? Let alone here, you can get massive applications with whole life stories built into them because people want to win something. So get that information, and then it'll indicate how your offer will provide more value to them. And this becomes very important for when you offer your discounted or your promotional or your participation trophy offers later. Advertise your giveaway for 3 to 7 days, or hit the number of people that you can manage to call in that time period, whichever comes first. Everyone who doesn't win the grand prize and qualifies gets offered the promotional offer. Book appointments with the promotional offer winners to credit their win towards the grand prize. Give them limited time to claim their prize. Then put an expiration date on people claiming their prizes, making them more likely to claim it. And if somebody says no to your main participation trophy offer, have another product that's probably like half the price to a third of the price that you have in your back pocket to make available to them. All right. And because it may suit them better. I would just keep the percentage discount the same. That way they still feel like they won something. Beyond that, that is how you do free giveaways. Those destroy like murder across markets, physical products, brick and mortar, online, like these work. So use them at your own peril.